Welcome to the Ainfluencer podcast, your go-to hub for influencer marketing, e-commerce, and affiliate strategies. Follow us to uncover success stories, expert advice, and practical insights to elevate your brand. This is the Ainfluencer podcast, your guide to mastering influence and transforming your business. Stay tuned.
All right, so you know how much we all shop online these days, right? And we thought it'd be really interesting to take a deep dive into e-commerce product returns.
Yeah, definitely a topic that affects pretty much everyone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Have you ever hit that return button and wondered what happens next?
All those steps behind the scenes.
Exactly. Or even from the business side, how are companies dealing with this whole mountain of returns?
Yeah, it's a pretty big challenge.
So to kind of unpack all of this, we've got a bunch of industry reports, some case studies, and even some insights from these really cool platforms, Ainfluencer and Algorith.ai.
Sounds like a good mix of sources.
Yeah, so the mission here is to figure out why are returns happening in the first place, and then how are businesses trying to minimize them, and of course we got to talk about the tech involved.
Oh, the tech is always the fun part.
For sure. So let's start with the big picture. Why are e-commerce returns such a big deal for businesses?
Well, you're right. It's not just about a pile of boxes in the back of a store. We're talking about a huge issue that affects profits and logistics.
And it's a lot of money too, right?
Oh, yeah. Billions of dollars.
Wow. And I feel like we've all been part of the problem at some point, ordering multiple sizes, knowing you'll probably return most of them.
Oh, yeah. Definitely guilty of that myself.
Yeah. It's become part of online shopping, hasn't it?
It really has. And it's actually got a name. It's called bracketing. And it's kind of interesting because it shows how different online shopping is from going to a store.
How so?
Well, when you're in a store, you can try things on, see how they feel.
Yeah, touch the fabrics.
Exactly. You get a much better idea. But online, there's that uncertainty, so people order multiple options just to be safe.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But bracketing is just one piece of the puzzle, right? What are some of the other big reasons why people return stuff?
Well, according to Oberlo, some of the top reasons are damaged items, the product doesn't match the description, or they got sent the wrong thing, and then there's always good old buyer's remorse.
Yeah, when you regret that impulse buy.
Exactly. But there's a kind of a common thread running through a lot of these reasons. It's this gap between what the customer expects and what they actually get.
So it's all about that mismatch between expectation and reality.
Exactly. E-commerce returns management. Everything you need to know reports that almost half of all shoppers return items because they just don't match the description.
Oh, that's frustrating.
It is. Imagine you order a sleek, modern coffee table online.
And you get a grandma's antique instead.
Pretty much that's a guaranteed return.
Yeah, that's a decorating nightmare. I've had that happen with clothes too, ordering something flowy and colorful and then getting something dull and totally ill-fitting.
Oh, yeah. And that brings us to one of the biggest pain points in online shopping. The whole sizing issue.
Oh, yeah. The struggle is real.
It is, according to the same source, a whopping 70% of online shoppers say item doesn't fit is their top reason for returning something.
70%. Wow. Are there other industries where fit is such a big deal for returns?
Footwear for sure. Different brands have different sizing. It's a mess. But beyond clothes and shoes, it's less about physical fit and more about functional fit.
Functional fit. What's that?
So think about a phone case. If it doesn't fit your exact phone model, you're sending it back.
Makes sense. Or a car part that's incompatible.
Exactly. It's a different kind of fit, but the idea is the same. If the product doesn't work for you, it's probably going back.
So it's all about compatibility, whether it's physical or functional. That's interesting. But what about those times when the product itself is the problem, it arrives damaged or defective?
Yeah, that's another major reason for returns, and it really highlights how important quality control is for businesses.
Yeah, you don't want to be sending out damaged goods.
No, you don't. A study by Power Reviews found that 65% of shoppers have returned something because it arrived damaged.
That's a lot. And then there's also the whole wrong item situation.
Oh, yeah, that's always frustrating. A classic case of operational errors impacting both the customer and the business.
Right, so it's clear that returns are a huge problem, both for shoppers and for businesses.
Yeah.
But it sounds like all these challenges are also pushing some serious innovation.
Definitely. There's a lot happening in this space to try and tackle this mountain of returns.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to hear more about the tech and strategies that are being developed to combat this issue.
Well, there's a lot to cover, so let's dive in. It's a really interesting time to be looking at this because businesses are getting so creative in how they're trying to solve this return problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of innovation is happening.
Oh, yeah, for sure. From using cutting-edge tech to completely rethinking the whole customer experience. There's a lot going on.
We talked a bit about AI and AR before.
Hmm.
I'm really interested in how AI is being used not just to find defects, but to actually predict returns.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like having a crystal ball.
So how does that work?
Well, imagine an AI system that can analyze tons of data, like customer demographics, their purchase history, product reviews, social media trends, all that stuff.
It's looking for patterns, right?
Exactly, patterns that humans might miss. So, for example, it might notice that a certain type of boot is being returned way more than usual in a specific region.
Okay, interesting.
And then digging deeper, it finds out that this region is having a really warm winter, so people don't need those boots.
That makes sense.
Right. And then this insight can help the company adjust their inventory or marketing in that region and potentially prevent a ton of returns before they even happen.
So it's not just about reacting to returns that have already happened. It's about being proactive.
Exactly. It's about getting ahead of the problem.
That's really impressive. But let's go back to those cool technologies we mentioned before, especially AR augmented reality. How is that being used to minimize returns?
Well, AR is all about bridging that gap between shopping online and shopping in a physical store.
Right, because you can't actually touch or try on things online.
Exactly. But with AR, you can kind of visualize products in your own environment before you buy them.
Like with furniture.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just looking at a picture of a sofa, you can use an AR app to see how that sofa would actually look in your living room.
Oh yeah, I've seen those apps. They're really cool. You use your phone or tablet, right?
Yeah, and you can see how it fits, how it looks with your other furniture. It takes away a lot of the guesswork.
That makes a lot of sense. I've played with those apps. They're fun, but are they actually effective in reducing returns?
The data says yes. Companies like IKEA have reported big drops in return rates after using AR features.
Wow, so it's not just a gimmick, it actually works.
It does, and it's not just furniture either. You see AR being used in fashion, so you can virtually try on clothes and accessories, and even in beauty where you can try different makeup looks.
That's so cool. It seems like AR is popping up everywhere in e-commerce these days.
It really is. But what about other innovative solutions? Reducing returns isn't just about implementing fancy algorithms or AR apps. It's also about building trust with customers and showing that you care.
And that makes sense because if a company makes returning something easy and hassle-free, I'm more likely to shop with them again.
Exactly. Companies are starting to realize that each return is an opportunity to learn and improve.
So instead of just processing returns quickly, they're actually trying to understand why those returns are happening.
Right, and how they can prevent them in the future. So getting feedback from customers about why they're returning things is super valuable.
Because it can give you insights that you wouldn't get just from data analysis.
Exactly. For example, someone might return a shirt because the fabric is scratchy, even though the fit and style are perfect.
Okay, so that's helpful feedback for the company.
It is. It lets them know that they might need to adjust their product line or find different suppliers. It can prevent similar returns from happening down the road.
So it's like a continuous feedback loop where each return helps to improve the whole shopping experience.
Exactly. But let's not forget about another important player in e-commerce: influencers. I'm curious to hear more about how platforms like Ainfluencer are being used to reduce returns.
Yeah, influencers are everywhere these days.
They are, and Influencer is all about using those authentic voices to shape how consumers see and think about products.
So instead of just seeing a product photo on a website, you get to see a real person using it and talking about it.
Yeah, and sharing their honest opinions, it's like getting a recommendation from a friend.
And that can be really persuasive, especially if you trust that influencer.
It can, and that level of trust and relatability can be a huge factor in reducing returns. Imagine you're thinking about buying a new skincare product.
Okay.
You could read the description on the website, or you could watch an influencer you follow using that product in their daily routine, talking about how it feels and smells and how it makes their skin look.
Yeah, I'd probably be more convinced by the influencer.
Most people would. It feels more genuine and relatable, and that authenticity can make a big difference in preventing buyer's remorse and the urge to return something.
Right, because you feel like you have a better understanding of the product before you buy it.
Exactly. It's about giving people the information they need to make good choices. Choices they'll be happy with.
Looking to connect with your audience and make your product go viral? Meet Ainfluencer.com, the end-to-end marketplace that connects you with over 1 million Instagram and TikTok influencers for free. With no subscriptions or fees, Ainfluencer.com makes it easy to find the perfect collaboration partners for your brand instantly. Its AI-powered system does the heavy lifting, matching you with influencers based on niche, demographics, past performance, and engagement. Start your campaign directly from your Ainfluencer dashboard or your Shopify store in seconds. Manage everything from inviting influencers and negotiating deals to secure payments and performance analytics all in one place. Handle influencer-curated lists, affiliate marketing, and content creation, even translated into 200-plus languages, all without paying any platform fees. Unlimited use, forever free. Visit Ainfluencer.com today and take your brand to the next level.
That's fascinating. So we've got AI predicting returns, AR letting us try things on virtually, and influencers shaping our perceptions of products. It seems like technology is really changing the whole e-commerce landscape.
It really is, but I'm wondering, are there any downsides to all this innovation?
That's a good question. It seems like there are always two sides to every coin.
There are. With any new technology, you have to think about the ethical implications and the potential downsides.
Like what kind of downsides?
Well, for example, using AI to predict returns raises questions about data privacy and the possibility of algorithmic bias.
Right, because AI is only as good as the data it's trained on.
Exactly. So it's crucial for companies to be transparent about how they're using data and to make sure their algorithms are fair and unbiased.
That's a really important point. It's all about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility.
Absolutely. You have to have both.
We've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. I'm excited to hear about some real-world success stories in the final part.
Yeah, me too. Let's get to those.
All right, so we've talked about the tech, the strategies, even the psychology behind e-commerce returns.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, now I'm ready for some inspiration,
Yeah.
Let's hear about some companies that are really killing it when it comes to tackling this whole returns challenge.
Yeah, let's talk about some success stories.
All right, bring on the wins.
So we mentioned Moosejaw before with their smart sizing solution.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Another great example is O'Neill, the swimwear and apparel brand.
Oh, yeah. I love their stuff.
They've implemented this AI-powered size finder on their website. It asks shoppers a few questions about their body shape and preferences, and then
It recommends the best size.
exactly, like takes the guesswork out of online swimwear shopping, which can be
It could be a nightmare.
totally. And they've seen some really positive results from this.
I bet. Tell me more.
They reported a 13% decrease in returns for women's swimwear after implementing that AI size finder.
That's huge, especially for swimwear where fit is so important.
It's a big deal, and it's not just about reducing returns. It's also about making customers happier and building that brand loyalty.
Yeah, I can see that, like, even if I have to return something, if the process is easy and the company is helpful, I'm more likely to shop with them again.
Exactly. It's all about that overall experience.
Okay, so what other success stories do you have for us?
Let's talk about Zalando,
Yeah.
one of Europe's biggest online fashion retailers.
Okay, I've heard of them.
They took a slightly different approach. They invested in some really sophisticated body measurement technology.
Interesting. Tell me more.
So they bought this tech firm that specializes in precise body measurements,
So, like, instead of those generic size charts that never seem to be accurate?
Exactly. It's about creating a more personalized and accurate fit for each customer.
That's so smart. So, did it work?
It did. They saw a 10% reduction in size-related returns after using this technology.
Wow, that's impressive.
And they didn't stop there. They've been doing other things to reduce returns too, like offering free pickup for returns and using sustainable packaging.
It sounds like they're really committed to this whole sustainability thing.
They are. And, reducing returns isn't just good for business, it's good for the environment, too.
That's true. The fewer items being shipped back and forth, the better it is for the planet.
Right. It's about finding solutions that are good for everyone, businesses, consumers, and the planet.
Again, a win-win-win situation.
Exactly. And as we move towards a more sustainable future, I think we'll see even more innovation in this space.
I hope so. What kind of innovations are you thinking about?
Well, we might see things like 3D body scanning becoming more common,
So even more accurate and personalized fit recommendations.
Exactly. Or maybe the rise of virtual fashion shows where you can experience new collections digitally without needing physical samples.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
It would be like a whole new way to shop for clothes.
It feels like we're on the verge of a major shift in how we shop online.
I think we are. And as technology keeps evolving, we'll see the lines between physical and digital shopping get even blurrier.
So we'll have the convenience of online shopping with the personalization.
Are you an Amazon seller dreaming of explosive sales growth? Tired of struggling to reach new customers? You're not alone.
So as we wrap up,
Scaling your Amazon business can be tough, but what if there was a secret weapon?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway
Introducing
is that
AlgoRift, the all-in-one Amazon affiliate platform that connects you with over 100,000 eager affiliates ready to promote your products across the web.
It sounds like there are a lot
Imagine
of really
this,
cool things
a
happening.
massive army of
there are so
influencers
many
and content
innovative
creators,
approaches out there.
all working to drive traffic and sales directly to your Amazon listings. With AlgoRift, this dream becomes a reality. AlgoRift simplifies the entire Amazon affiliate marketing process. Simply connect your Amazon account, sync your products, and set your personalized commission rates. Then invite top-notch affiliates to join your program, all within the AlgoRift platform. No more messy spreadsheets, complicated tracking links, or juggling multiple platforms.
Every step we take.
AlgoRift.ai handles it all. You can chat directly with your affiliates, negotiate personalized commissions, and manage all your payments in one convenient place. Ready to maximize the power of affiliate marketing? Visit AlgoRift.ai today and claim your free trial. AlgoRift.ai. Connect, collaborate, conquer.